Let's get W's in the chat to get this day started, y'all. Ladies, double C immediately with the 99 cents. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the hottest, the boldest, and the realest takes in the lolcow universe. Chan-Ree, you interrupted my intro, Chan-Ree. It's the new intro I can barely remember, and you're interrupting me. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Lord Rush. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the show with the hottest and the boldest and the realest takes in the entire lolcow universe. You're watching Lolcow Cafe. Oh, man, what a awesome day it was yesterday. What a beautiful day it was yesterday. My nighttime job kicked the shit out of me, but that's okay, guys. That's okay, because we are here to stay. As always, you know I have the awesome, the beautiful, and the amazing co-host, Miss Beans. Good morning, Miss Beans. How are you doing today?
Good morning, good morning. Today is May 1st, and it is a new season, and we're going to have an intern today. I'm excited to see what is to come with the cafe.
Me too. We have that donation I'm not going to read. All right, so, guys, this kind of feels like home. It kind of feels like home, Beans. I don't know if you guys remember. 10 a.m. was our very first time slot. 12 o'clock was good to us. 12 o'clock was amazing to us. We have Mazer trolling me with the $4.99. Lakers in the dirt. Hashtag rest in piss. We are going to get into that one. And Black Belladonna paid me for 2 months. Thank you, Black Belladonna. That is awesome. Both of you look amazing as always. No, I don't. I look like a Neanderthal. You don't have to lie to me. You see the eyebrow? How it does that? I headbutt people, Beans. I break noses, Beans.
So for the most part, Lolcow Cafe is more or less embracing the change that it needs to do, right, for growing a channel, keeping its audience, keeping not keeping the monetization. Obviously, they're gonna always keep that because they're keeping stuff, but growing the monetization, right, growing the money, growing the shekels, the euros, crypto. You know what I'm referring to. And watching through this episode of Cafe, really like the first true episode of season 3, I was more or less like not bad, right? I think they are finally embracing that necessary change, and I think it mostly has to do with the fact that they need but I think it's mostly due to wanting to keep their dynamic, right? I think they're trying to do whatever they can to keep the show as it is. Well, not as it is, right? But clearly moving it in a better direction where it should have been months ago, right? I understand like maybe the first month or maybe even the first couple weeks, those are growing pains, right? But I think if you're streaming every single day, you do need to somewhat improve more and more, right? It isn't like, oh, they stream every week or every other week, or they stream maybe a couple days in a week. They're streaming basically almost every single day, basically almost like a full-time job at this point, right? Even though if you add up the numbers, it's like around 14 hours around there, right? If they were to stream every day for 2 hours, close to like 14 hours. Yeah.
Well, if you like softball, there is a very cool show on Disney Plus that you can check out. It's called Win or Lose, and it is a very cute show. It kind of shows different personalities, different emotions, and I think you can relate to that very well. So if you haven't checked out Win or Lose, check it out because I think it's a fantastic show to watch, and it's about softball. But continuing on with the docket, do you want to go into? Wait, no. I was going to say, do you want to go into hate comments? But in reality, we have to do the remind.
Yes, we have to do the remind. Thank you. So, guys, this is from henceforth. This is called the lolcow remind. Right? Because evidently we have to remind you of what's coming throughout the day, right? We're going to show y'all how the remind was born. The remind was born last night, and I thought that was a great idea. Thank you for that. So let's go ahead and now get into this thing. Jesus, that was loud. All right, let's get this playing. Let's make this happen. Remind.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him live. I'm gonna let him live.
If you,
for context, right? They were watching me literally cook, and they're responding to what me and Beans were talking about on Rewind. We were talking about Rewind yesterday on the stream for context. All right, let's continue.
You guys want to do what we do better, you can't.
He said it right, Beans. He finally said it right for once. Thank you, Billy. I can't.
You can't. It ain't happening.
But
ain't possible.
I do like that you guys use us as the aspiration. I do like that. You guys want to be lolcow remind, like we can remind you who you want to be when you grow up. I'm fine with that. You want to be lolcow remind, wake up, remind everybody to get their coffee, take their morning dump, take their medicine, get their newspaper, remind them that the good shows are going to be coming on later. You can be lolcow remind. I'm okay with that. I love Beans. I love Ken. I'm actually happy to see y'all following in our footsteps.
Yeah. So it continues.
I didn't realize how passive aggressive he was.
Oh, it's beautiful. It is fucking beautiful. I love Billy and his passive aggressiveness. It is so nice.
Oh, yeah.
I have nothing but love and respect for Ken and Beans. If you guys look to us as the mark, then keep going for that mark, because Ken, this is where you started, and you should always want to go home. So,
this is what I got to say about it. We gonna let you live. We're gonna let you live.
not just live, thrive, dude, thrive.
Pew pew.
Thrive.
Pew, pew. We're gonna let you
Thrive.
live.
Can we get a pew pew, Miss Beans? Can we get a pew pew for that?
Pew, pew,
There it is. Thank you so much. All right, let's finish this up. We ain't got much longer, and then we're gonna do the remind.
Thrive.
That's all I gotta say.
I want cafe to thrive. I want cafe to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not worried.
Not at all.
Now, apparently they're not worried about us, Beans. Apparently they're the example we're going for. Apparently they are what we're striving to be, and that's what elders should do. Elders should pass that along to the younger generations to say, hey, use me as the example, be better than me, and all you can do is improve. Keep improving, keep trying, right? What are your thoughts on that, Ms. Beans?
Well, for that, so Sweet Tea did mention how passive aggressive Billy can be. Well, he passively and aggressively should.
I think another thing that I'm starting to like about Cafe more, or really, for now, right? Just for now, is that they are willing to kind of do like a morning rewind show. Whereas obviously, rewind is towards the end of the day, right? It's late in the night. I mean, like literally, like they start streaming at 10 o'clock and they end like just as the day is exactly over. So to me, having a show that does something in the morning to recap for people who didn't catch it at night, and most people don't, right? Let's be real. If you're living in the East Coast, right, you're not gonna catch most of these shows as they're airing, right? Mostly because, like, I would say from like the time people get out of work to like they go to sleep anywhere between 10 and 11. Most people are busy throughout their day, right? They don't have the time like I do, sadly, to watch all these shows back to back and ask themselves, like, God, why am I doing it to myself? And then I realized I hit sort of a gold mine to some extent, but enough of my opportunistic self. But yeah, having a show or a show or one of the shows kind of doing like a morning rewind is a good idea. Well, I'm very surprised they didn't do this early on. Right, because like again, as I said, most people don't stay up that late to cast some of these shows. I surely don't. I don't really watch Rewind because it's so late into the day, and by the time I even get around to even quote unquote watching Rewind, I'm already trying to edit these videos as I go throughout the day, get the thumbnail, get everything I need. So having a show that kind of does what Rewind does, but in the morning, really helps on my end, especially if I miss something before I start uploading, right? And I always appreciate something like that. I will always appreciate something like that, and I think it's a very important change within Cafe that I am very shocked they never took the opportunity to do, because I think it would have worked out a lot better. I mean, even Rewind wasn't like, yeah, let them cook, let them do what they want. It was good on Rewind, honestly. Good on them.
Dude,
This was literally in the very beginning. Oh boy.
God.
Oh
Here we
boy.
go.
Oh boy. We're about to see whose fupa hangs the lowest, whose meat flap hangs the lowest. What's
Hey,
up, bro?
Ken.
Yeah.
I would like you to remind you I now own the show.
Okay.
I'd like to remind you that I have the keys to the kingdom,
Okay.
and I would expect you to speak respectfully, especially because I'm here to punish one of your workers.
What happened?
Sweet Tea, on your first day of the job, you came in 20 minutes late.
Ouch. Ooh.
I know. How do you
I'm
think
so
that
sorry.
reflects on you?
I'm sure I look bad right now.
Oh, you look real bad. How about the fact that your audio didn't work because you didn't test it properly?
Yes,
That makes you
I
look
know.
even worse. How about the fact
Well-
that you left and didn't come back for a while? That makes you look even worse.
I was trying to fix it.
Yeah,
Wait,
something
Yeah,
you might
so-
have been able to do. Some beans. You
It's
really
suck
don't want to start.
bookie,
You
suck
really.
lord ass. No. So
I
you
kicked
might be
Nightmare in the
part of
middle of
this
his stream
company.
last night. I'll kick you in the middle of yours. I promise
Yeah,
you.
because you accidentally hit a button and you kicked him from the
I'll
fucking
still do it
server.
right now.
Good
I'll still
job,
do it right
Marty.
now. I'll do it to you right now. I'll do it to you
real
right now.
quick. So this is her
So she's
first day.
muted.
She had some issues with her
Um,
equipment. It's a
So nobody can hear her. Sweet Tea,
I
I'm
don't want to make
issuing-
excuses either.
I'm
But
issuing
I
a
was-
speeding ticket. I can't take money away from you because you have no money because you're an intern. So your speeding
Thank you.
ticket is I expect you to be on the main show for a while tonight, and you are hereby sentenced to showing up on the 8-hour stream on Saturday. Clear your schedule.
Damn. Can I
Beans,
on
Beans, you
your
can
show
have
and
your.
then-
Oh, she unmuted herself. Cool. I muted her again. I was just about to unmute her. I watched her unmute herself. Beans, please don't fuck with me. You will be the first person I fire. I assure you, you have no talent. So don't fuck around.
Sweet tea, I'm gonna
Oh,
give you a word of
Jesus.
advice. If he tells you to show up, do not ask, can I do this, can I do that, because you will get more punished. Just do what he fucking says. Let his fupa fucking be tucked for the time he's the boss, and just agree with him.
Good
Strong.
girl,
I have
Roxy.
a hard
The
time
next
understanding things. I was just trying to make sure I
next time,
understood what I was supposed to
get
do.
it. Also, part of your speeding ticket is to call your internet service provider and get real internet. I'll see you tonight.
Okay, oh my god, he's
I don't want
fucking
to lose
wrong.
my
You know
$10
what?
internet. That's the thing.
So I'm gonna tell you,
Um,
you have to if you want to make it the skips,
Yeah.
and you have to. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. If you don't want to do that, then it's just not gonna work. It's just not.
I'm gonna call and see what I can do.
Okay.
to finish
Girl, be
today.
lucky. You got a whole setup handed to you. Okay, I have 2 PCs that are being overdone, and I'm in the middle of trying to buy another one on credit right now because we're so freaking broke. So be
I
happy.
didn't get a PC. This PC's a one I've had for a long time. That's
Well,
why
whatever you
I
got.
think it didn't turn on. Because I thought it had charged all night, and it needs to be plugged in for a good like 15 minutes before it
All right.
turns on.
Well, look, we got 7 minutes. We got to get through this.
Yes,
We got
but
to
really
get through
quick,
this. Go
I
ahead.
do want to say the whole freaking redirect thing. Keem did apologize to Savage and I because guess whose fault that was? It was Michael's. Michael screwed it all up on us. So Keem did apologize. Of course, he won't admit it. He apologized to Savage and I for blaming us.
Hell yeah.
Surprise,
All right.
surprise, it's all
Yep.
Michael's fault. But real quick, sweet tea, what I need you to do, as a co-host, as a buddy, as a pal, don't call your internet. You're gonna go into live. You're gonna go into live with your sucky internet, and you're going to piss the fuck off a Boogie. That's what you're gonna
That would
do
be good.
because that brings the content, and you're going to be yourself, and you're going to talk his fucking ear off. Okay, he wants you there. You bring the sweet tea, and you're gonna make it 10 times sweeter. Okay, you're going to be
Damn.
concentrated tea for Boogie. You got it?
I fucking
it.
love that.
All right.
I'll do you proud.
Queen J was
Yes,
about
ma'am.
to.
And now I think we get to the end of the video and kind of towards the end of this stream with Cafe, right? Where Boogie kind of comes in. This is going to probably be the norm for the next couple of days till Game Story comes back where Boogie is lore of the localdom, right? The kingdom of the fat asses, essentially. Honestly, I think in this moment I probably would have just called out Boogie's crap and be like, yeah, do it. I don't know. Maybe just because I have such a... I wouldn't say a disdain towards the LCU completely, but I think when it's coming to certain locales, I think I would, go scorched earth policy on them. Like, who really cared? And also kind of his treatment for Sweet Tea. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not any better, right? Everybody starts from somewhere. Everybody needs a beginning, a humble story, their genesis, right? But kind of berating and attacking a girl. I mean, on one hand, I think he's just trying to, make her have thicker skin, which I think is a good idea. On the other hand, it's kind of comes off as pretentious and come on, dude, there's a lot of better ways. She's fresh, she's new. Give her an opportunity, let her get her bearings, right? Let her figure out how to entertain people her own way. And then you can start the hazing process. Because I think once you let people figure themselves out and how they want to entertain people, then you do a bit of a hazing process after that. Everybody goes through it, right? I know I surely have. I will even say I've been criticized a number of times in the past. Even still now, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Mostly because of shit audio on my hand, on my part. But, I don't know. I just feel like Boogie treatment in this situation is kind of dumb because, Boogie started out as, not any better, but then again he saw an opportunity early on YouTube, so it's come on, dude, don't pretend you're hot shit when you're really not. That's really all it is with Cafe. Good on them for changing. Till then, y'all, have a good one, be safe, God bless.